And
And here we
as
go.
we say it, we are into Champ Select.
Your judgment is clouded.
All right, looking at the names, we have Washed Up OGs on blue side on the left, and then Team Unknown red side on the right. And Tarek is banned.
Yeah, get that Tarek out of here. Nobody wants to play against a good Tarek.
Sharpening my feathers.
Want to call out Brisbay11 in our Twitch chat. Stopped cleaning to watch this game, so thank you for that.
Nice.
Dedication
I like
right there. Okay. So I want to look here at my notes. I think there are a couple other champions that might need to be taken away here. We already see the Tarek that was in my notes. I know that Team Unknown works with that really well, and you know, Washed Up just don't care. They want nothing to do with that. But on the other side, let's see.
What's wrong? Can't take the heat.
Two other champions I think that really should be banned. Emilio was actually one that I have for Unknown, that they shouldn't let them have it.
Yeah, there's definitely that Emilio enthusiast on that team.
Okay, so I haven't seen the champions quite yet, but again, because we have players watching in Champ Select, I don't want to say names yet, but I think there are a couple champions that missed the ban hammer that probably should have. We'll see if they come through. And the Silas still being banned. We got some really strong champions over there on the red side bans. Jinx. Yep, there it is. That was one that I thought really should have been banned.
I really like Jinx. She's one of my favorite ADCs to play. I always enjoy seeing her in game.
I'm with you. I think Jinx is a lot of fun. The Ashe answer, though, it's interesting. You have the wave clear with the volley, but again, just like last game, you're not going to be able to crit, so your actual damage output is going to be lower than the Jinx.
Yeah, and Jinx scales a lot better into the late game because she gets like 700 range on her rockets, I think, and then just runs like crazy when she gets a kill, run you down. But Ashe can still do pretty good with the builds they've been doing. She'll put out respectable damage as long as she gets the items.
I like the Malphite coming out for Bear. It worked out really well last time. It's interesting. I had that on my Team Unknown stuff, is to ban the Malphite, but I guess that these players are looking a little bit deeper than I was, and they know that Malphite does one thing. Or I guess two things. He soaks up a lot of damage, and he has an ultimate, and so they're willing to let that one go. But another champion I have underneath the washed up. I keep wanting to say GGs. The washed up OGs is Thresh. So we got Jinx and Thresh both on my list of champions I would have banned against them in Champions.
Yeah, Thresher's really great when you have an immobile ADC like that, because you can get them out of trouble. You do an engage on them, pill farm really easy. So it's always nice to have that type of champion that can kind of do both.
Janna locked in on the sports side for Team Unknown. This is a new pick for Kiroro. I don't think we've seen the Janna yet, so that'll be really exciting. I think it'll work well with the disengage against the Shen and the Thresh, and combined with the Ashe slow, they might be able to stop the Jinx from running for 8,000 miles.
Yeah, Janna's always one of those champs that when you want to engage, she can always just stop you. You have she's got the tornado to knock you up. She's got the ultimate to knock you back. So she's really good at disengage and just peeling for her carry. And then just the heal for the team. So if you stand in there, you can all get healed back if you took a lot of damage at the start of a fight.
Nico taken away. That was on my list. You got to be careful with that one. It was like third or fourth most picked, but the win rate on it was like 70%. It was crazy. So glad to see that one knocked out. But what that means is 3 mid lane bans against Tem. Lee Sin locked in here for Team Unknown.
always like Lee Sin gameplay, especially people really good with Lee Sin. They just do things with the champion that my hands can't do because I don't play him enough. So.
Right.
He's that muscle memory. He's definitely a champ. You've got to have muscle memory on him to pull off his combos.
What else is fascinating is the champion can do things you don't think are possible at all. Not just what you can or can't do, but just in general, things that seem technically impossible.
This is a really high skill floor.
Oh, but do we see the Death Soraka? I think that's, you know what? I like that. I think it's decent into the Orianna. No, I got baited. We're gonna see Jebaited in the chat.
Yeah, I think they realized they needed more damage out of their team.
That's true because
having
you're
one
not
damage.
critting.
Yeah, having one damage source would have probably put them at too low DPS.
All right, so a nice champ select here. Rule number 1: never get excited about a pick until lock-in. Yeah, Anna.
I really do
You're
like
right.
the Orianna on their team. She's got some really good ball delivery systems with Nocturne and Shen. So you'll have to really watch for one of them going in and then just nuking your entire team down with that ultimate. See if they can pull that combo off.
I also like Orianna in general. She's one of the oldest champions, but she's a staple in every single meta. She has damage, she has utility, she has safety, she has crowd control. She has everything, but back to one of our earlier conversations, it's not too much. It's not oppressive. It's not abysmal to fight. It seems and feels fair.
Yeah, she's definitely one of those champs that most people never think she's just ridiculously overpowered. It's either like strong or not strong, or somewhere in the middle. They don't really get to that point where you start throwing out the broken.
One of her fun balances is her Command Protect. Her E has a really, really high mana cost. And so watching people hold on to that, making sure that they don't waste their mana, is one of my favorite things to do with Orianna. Man, I was so excited though. The Soraka matchup into her though, because her only mobility is a little bit of movement speed from the Command Dissonance. It would have been so much fun to watch that. But Azir has to be the answer. You're right. It's just the damage they need.
Yeah, if there was more of a carry from top or jungle, I think you could definitely go with the Soraka mid, but then you're just relying on Ashe to be the one who gets ahead in the game, be able to carry the team fights, and that can be really hard to put on one person's shoulders in a game like this.
So the utility out of Team Unknown is actually really high. You have the huge knockup from the Malphite, and you have the setup from the Sin. You have so much slow. You have the Janna knockups. All of those things, and I think that's going to work out really, really well. But damage-wise, I think that Washed Up have the advantage.
No, I think they both have pretty good damage on their teams, honestly. Like, Azir's a hyperscaling champ, Jinx is hyperscaling. I think they're both dangerous in their late game here.
I believe I want to see the Heartsteel on the Shen. Personally, I think that's a really good item for him. He deals additional damage when he gets his Q based on his max health, and they don't really have a health shredding other than the Azir, of course, on their side, but I think that I would like to see that.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll end up being Jack Show.
Yeah, most likely. You don't see Heartsteel built really in any type of competitive. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky and see that, but probably not.
Yeah, probably not. But I like it. I think that the drafts are solid, right? One of the big things when playing competitive like this is you see much more thought put into the team compositions. When you're playing solo queue, it's just what do I play well, and the way these compositions were put together intrigues me and makes me very excited.
Yeah, I think they're both really good. They both have really good utility. They both have engage, ways to peel. I think they have really well-rounded team comps, and they're definitely team fighting comps.
Yeah, with those two hyper carries you brought up, the Jinx and the Azir, what we need to see is how well do they keep those particular champions alive? How well do they peel for those champions? That's the whole purpose of the Janna and the Shen, is to either set up the fights or to stop them from happening. And I think we're going to see a pendulum / yo-yo of a game where one team will actually get the drop, and then a misengage will happen, and the re-engage will come from the other, and it's going to be a lot of fun. We are on Summoner's Rift for game number 3 between Washed Up OGs and Team Unknown.
Right. No one's really invaded, have they? It's all been 5 points.
That's unfortunate.
Is it Tem?
I love
Is that
invades.
the mid lane? Tem? Is that how you say that?
I would say Tem.
Tem? Yeah, getting the deep ward over by the Raptors to see where Lee Sin's going to start. Normally Lee Sin would start at the red buff, but it looks like he's probably going to start bottom lane, and then end up pathing top and maybe be able to do something for Malphite while he's up there. They're both starting on the bottom side, so they're both going to be meeting in the top. So we might see some action in the top lane once they both path up there. Although, usually when you watch the LCS cast, they always say it's a wet noodle fight, but tanks don't hit like wet noodles in the early game. They actually hit pretty well.
Yeah. Well, it's because, they don't have the stats up, and you have to have some basic damage, right? Every champion starts with 50 to 70 damage, so it's gonna feel about the same.
See who can get this early push. Jinx should get the early push with her rockets. So let that level 2. And that's what I'm looking for, is that level 2 hook all in that they're about to get.
Yep. Here we are. Elite Mad Life throws it out. It does not land.
Oh, I was wrong. Lee Sin's already here in the bottom.
The level 2 Kodo Draco gank. Valentine is going to be in some trouble. He already flashes. Kodo gets the shield. Damage onto Valentine. He is hit with the exhaust. And do they have it? Kodo Draco is right there. No! He gives it over to Calavir. Very well juggled. Very well done from Team Unknown to secure first blood.
That was a nice gank by Lee Sin, and he waited for them to engage onto Team Unknown, and then he came in behind them and was able to secure that kill for Ashe. So really good play in the bot lane. Ashe needs to probably get ahead in this bottom lane matchup to really get her strengths going early before Jinx can really scale up and become that late game monster.
We're going to see something really powerful happening up at the top side. We saw Lee Sin going up there to try and counter a counter jungle, actually. We got fight going on up there. Observer is locked on the bottom side. Mid lane is going crazy. We see 5 champions there, while Bear wasn't able to make the roam. No one has died yet. Tem might be in some trouble. Kodo Draco has to jump away. Flash forward. El Kuno picks that one up. Death is in some trouble now. He might have to flash. He does.
Wow, that almost... that was almost
flash
really
forward.
bad.
Oh. Snowdown wanted to pick him up with the Duskbringer, but it was not quite enough damage.
Some nice early game action. All under 4 minutes this is happening in the game. We've already got 2 kills. That's a change from the other games we've been watching. The kills weren't coming till a little bit later.
I like it, but I want it to stay controlled, right? This isn't just chaos. This is all very measured.
Yeah, I like to see, like I said, the thinking that's going on, not just turning the brain off and playing the game. Nice trade back from Bear on that.
Yeah, and another thing that Bear did correctly was, he could have rotated down to match Okuno, but instead he got his CS back up. We talked about how levels are important. He was able to stay up there, get some gold, get some levels, and stay relevant in the game instead of going into the shenanigans, call them.
Shen's going to be able to collect a pretty big lead in XP and gold after this wave crashes in. But Malphite's going to try and get that early recall so he can get the item advantage and come back maybe before Shen is able to push that lane out. Maybe he can get a freeze. But Shen will probably most likely TP back to stop that from happening.
Some of my favorite mind games are when and when not to teleport.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of fun to think about, right? You look at your wave state, you think, okay, on top of the wave, what will my opponent do? Will I need to teleport? Will I not? Do I need to get there to soak up XP rather than save the turret? It's just for experience. And Bear did exactly the right thing, right? You would have expected him to teleport, but no. Because Shen already had the wave all the way back, he knows that he has the time to run up.
Yeah, it was really good waiting on that teleport. He might be able to get a freeze right here. But Shen's going to have to do the best he can to try and push that in so he can get a reset back without losing a lot. And I do like the freeze they set up in the bottom lane and went back and bought their items, and it's still sitting there for them, so they're going to gain an advantage with the minions pushing in there because they'll be killing the blue side minions. So they should come back right when they're about to push it back, which it looks like they're going to, and get that big wave that built up.
One of the fun things about Team League of Legends, it's so much more about how the map is going than am I getting gold, right? You watch the yo-yos, you watch the levers, and what that pressure does do is the red team doesn't get to, farm all those minions, but they do get priority on the Drake. They're going to take that one pretty easily. No fight, no real contest here, I don't think.
I don't know if they're not positioned to collapse around on that and actually get anything. Level 6s are up.
Unless Valentine wants to, he flashes forward to get some auto attacks. In goes Death, he knocks them away. Kodo Draco in the backline onto Valentine, but Tem gets the kill onto Death. He cannot go past the Azir while Kiroro has to flash. That was actually bananas. I don't know what the heck happened there.
I think the communication between Valentine and Elkuno was probably what was going on there. He's like, just go for it, I'll ult you, I'm 6, you're fine, no one's gonna kill you. And it ended up working out.
Yeah, the flash into auto attacks from the Jinx is one of the craziest plays I've seen in one of these. So for Shazbot, we'll put that one on, what was that, 7:20? 7 minutes 20 seconds? That was silly. Very well done though. Washed up OGs do pick up another kill, and it pushes their lead just a little bit. We're already at 1,000 in their favor.
Yeah, really good play. I like the coordination with Shen ulting in, because normally that would just be death for Jinx, and that play would have been, broke for them. Probably would have put Team Unknown, give them a nice lead, put the bottom lane down even a lot further. But the coordination with playing your team, you can make those type of plays where in solo queue you can't really do those because you don't know if your top laner has eyes on the map ever. So.
And then you also know that your jungler, the moment he sees the flash for an auto, he's missing pinging you.
Yes.
Like, trust, bro. I've got this. We have a Shen. Yeah, great play. Map state, back to neutral. Got a little bit of counter jungling up on the top side, but it's just the Grump. Meanwhile, on the bottom, Snowdown is taking some Krugs, just farming away. He actually has a pretty big advantage when you think about jungle camps being 4 CS each. He's got 2 full camps ahead of Kodo Draco's Lee Sin.
Yeah, and they both have an assist, so Showdown's probably been a little more efficient with what he's been doing with his farming and getting that assist. So it's nice to see, Nocturne able to take advantage of that situation and get himself a little CS lead, and hopefully, maybe he can keep that up and keep pushing that lead, and then get that level 6, which he has, and get that first ult, which is so important for him.
So back to your question from the last game. Lanes even, which they pretty much are. Where's that first Nocturne ult going?
You could go mid because Orianna could set you up really well with an ult. Or you probably bottom or mid. That's where I would look. I probably wouldn't worry about top unless he was super overextended and maybe already ulted. because
And then-
Malphite can just ult out, right?
Right.
If you get onto him. So I probably look for something in the bottom, maybe like a Nocturne and Shen ult. So you Nocturne, ult, have Shen ult Nocturne, he goes in, and then you just bring your friend in. It's probably an insta kill on whoever you go on to.
We need, so Team Unknown rather needs Kiroro to get level 6 to be able to disengage that, because a nice Monsoon as the combo lands would do a lot of work to disengage that fight.
And nobody's. The only lane that's kind of pushed forward you could look for a gank is bottom lane right now. Mid's pretty even. Bot is getting pushed in just a little bit, so maybe he'll path down there. Orianna is making the way down there. Lee Sin is down there too. This might be actually a really good time to pull the trigger on that.
Shen's ultimate is available, and here we go. They are both cast. And first kill. Valentine gets the kill onto Calavir. Kiroro's in some trouble. He's trying to dodge out a little bit. Walks into some traps. Tem picks up that one. Wasn't even the Shen ultimate on that one.
Yeah, they didn't even need Shen.
I love it. Well
Yeah.
played there. Oh, Shen went back. He was in the base. But this is plate money. Kodo wanted to pull the insec.
Oh no.
The spell shield stopped the kick. Oh, that feels so bad if you're Kodo Draco. Snowdown perfectly timing the spell shield. Very, very good. Now the Rift Herald is down here. They're going to secure some place to get some more Valentine money. This Jinx is going really, really hard.
Oh no, I didn't get any of the gold. He wasn't close
He wasn't
enough.
close enough.
But it's alright, Nocturne snowballs really well with the gold, so that'll probably help him get to his first item faster to be able to help push these lanes further ahead.
Hey, I'm gonna say it. Either that's a Warmogs or a Heartsteel. But we have another fight here. Death is taking a lot of damage, has to flash away. Kiroro caught with the ultimate from the Orianna. Huge shield. That's the Shen ultimate. Washed up OGs does take the Drake. Kodo Draco goes down. In comes Malphite. He has that unstoppable force, but he has to walk away.
Yeah, a little bit late on the TP there. Probably need to come in a little bit earlier so everyone, you get that good group of the carries and kind of knock them all up in the air. But I definitely think that would have changed the fight. If you look at some of the health bars, that Malphite ult during the start of the fight would have most likely changed the other direction to who won that fight.
Absolutely. So it looks like the washed up OGs are not quite as washed up as their name suggests. They're playing very, very well. We got a 3,500 gold lead, 5 kills in their favor. Looking pretty good for the blue side.
Yeah, and Jinx has a nice CS lead plus an extra kill and 3 assists, so she is doing a lot of work right now. Went for the boots first, so didn't get a lot of extra damage, but the attack speed will help and the movement speed, so maybe get a couple more plates, go back and start working on finishing that first item.
Speaking of first item, I want to draw attention to Shen.
And
Ladies
mid.
and gentlemen, I am a prophet.
Nice. And mid, yeah, we got three items online right now on washed up OGs, so they definitely have power spike first and early. They could probably force any fight they really want right now and win it as long as they position right. So they should try to use this and just snowball, bot lane some more or mid, because you can go either one. Shen's gonna be fine up top. He doesn't really need any help. He's too tanky at this point. But definitely want to push that probably bot lane lead more, so Jinx can just roll this game over.
Absolutely. And especially with the ability for Shen to just join at a moment's notice. It's great to see him being that tanky, trying to set up that extra damage, because that's one of the big things as a tank, right? You need to be more than just stats in the way.
Yeah, you need to absorb the damage so while your carries are pumping out more damage. If you're too squishy,
Valentine might be in some trouble. Grabs do stop the engage. Teleport is interrupted, but that cost Barret his ultimate. Next fight, in goes Snowdown. A lot of damage onto the Ashe. She goes down. Kodo Draco's the next target. Snowdown picks that one up. Will we see the triple? That is it. Snowdown picks up 3 in the bottom side with a nice ultimate.
Yeah, they're definitely putting all their eggs into this bottom lane here, and just everyone's getting fed now. Now the jungler's super far ahead. Every lane is winning. This is going to be a super hard game to come back from, where you don't really have a strong point on the map.
I think Don't Gank Bot has something to say about the positioning of the ganks this game. Because it just didn't work.
No. I mean, they have
And-
Mad Life on their team. The
Yeah,
elite
I was
Mad
gonna
Life.
br-
This is like
yeah.
the next level of Mad Life, you know?
Drawing attention to that exactly. You know, what else is funny is it's actually been the Jinx traps. I don't think we've seen some, miraculous weird angle prediction hooks or fantastic lanterns. It's just been great kiting.
Yeah, and good target focus too, to make sure they get down the target they're going after and not splitting their damage up.
9-1 the kill spread now, with that bottom lane turret also taken. And I like this rotation. You put your bot lane in the middle, where you can take the next turret, you can really get your presence out on the map a little bit more.
I don't think you can fight for this. You just don't have the numbers right now. You have to let it go. Yeah.
Rift Herald secured for washed up OGs. I think you just pound it in the middle. You have 4 champions right there. You don't have plates like we've already discussed earlier in the series, but it's a good place to open up the map. You're already putting your fed bot lane there. It just makes sense to me.
Yeah. You want to rotate Jinx around and take every tower. Take mid, then rotate top. Just get all those outers gone so you can get that map control, and it'll make it easier to get any of the objectives once you get those first towers down.
And I like rotating to mid first. Sometimes you would go up to the top and open up those avenues, but when you're looking at bot and mid, it surrounds the Drake. And so if you have both of those turrets down, that gives you access to that section of the jungle to get more frequent advantages and vision down.
The Team Unknown, look, they've got some ward control in there already. Then they backed out. I don't think they should have stayed there and controlled the area, but that's some off back timings for this dragon, so nobody is really like coming in together. We do have the TP from Malphite, right on the Gene Trap.
He is going to get rooted low onto Mad Life. Do we see the engage here? Bear is in the front lines. He has ultimate available. He has flash. Lee Sin goes in. Nocturne ults to try and confuse everybody. It lasts for a long time now after his most recent change. Who picks up the Drake? Shen ulting in. Bear low. Hasn't used the ultimate yet. Do we see the re-engage? Snowdown does die. Death picks that one up. Bear is still alive. Has to use that ultimate. Doesn't get a chance. Valentine cuts him down. Kiroro goes down. Huge ultimate from Tem. Flash from Calavir trying to get one. It isn't enough, and it's a 1-for-5 trade. Huge for washed up OGs. The ace at the Drake.
And the Orianna ultimate was huge. Just chunked them all down to where it was pretty much one auto kill. Cleaned up the fight really good right there. They played that really well, kiting back, CCing. Malphite's ult didn't really get to change the fight on that. I don't think he used it because he got CC'd so much and then just burst out. He's not super tanky yet. You got to pull the trigger probably a little quicker on that one because when he got hooked and pulled in, and then they're just doing all that damage. So either you got to get in there and try to hit that back line and do that damage, or you got to back up and let them have the Drake at that point in time.
I think one of the big flaws in Malphite play is choosing when to ult, because there's criticism either way. Oh, why'd you only ult one person? Or, oh, why didn't you cast it? Because there wasn't a group, right? And so I think that Bear fell into that trap. If he had jumped in and helped secure the one kill, it could have changed the tide, right? It's a mental thing.
Yeah, and you might also die as well, but maybe you CC that backline enough where you get the dragon and then your team disengages and no one else dies, too. Like, maybe you're the only one that dies, and that's not bad at that point.
And so
your
I
team
think
did secure the dragon, so I guess it was worth it. But you gotta
That's
you gotta
true.
look for that somewhere. You gotta find something to help push it a little bit further along in the fight and make sure. Because that was really close. They almost lost that.
14 kills to 2. And about 8,000 gold difference here. You can see that in our items. We do have firsts for everyone except for Kiroro on the Janna. Still working on picking that one up. But everyone else has at least one item. 2 completed on the Jinx, by the way. 4, 1, and 9.
Yeah, everyone on the team is fed. Even Shen's fed. He's only going to get tankier from this point, and being that far behind, you're going to be able to build your penetration items early, so Ash's damage is just not going to be enough to stop him once he starts to build some armor, because Rue King isn't effective against armor. It's better against just pure health. Sorry, don't get a little dry. But
So,
once you
yeah,
can get the pen, it will be really good into the tank, so it'll give you that extra damage to get on that health stacking there. But right now, she's probably just going to be tickle torturing Shen or anyone.
I like the thought there. Death puts up the turret to slow down that Herald. It actually gave them nothing. You know, Snowdown ran out of time. He cast it on the bottom side. There was no turret. There was no real good place to put it. And Death was like, well, if I stop it here, then we don't take any damage on our secondary turret. So I like that. I like the play. It did exactly what it needed. Calavir might be in trouble. And there it is, the engage onto 2 of them. Valentine goes unstoppable. The fear lands. Kiroro is next to go down. Double kill for Valentine on the Jinx.
Yeah, sorry, that was a great hook by Mad Life to grab the Ashe there, and then it follows up with the Nocturne ultimate. They get the double kill, and now they get a free Baron because they just don't have anyone to go stop it, unless Lee Sin can get the magical Q smite, but it looks like they're doing a pretty good job of blocking, so if you can't hit those with the execute plus the smite at the same time.
Oh, I think.
Oh,
Oh
no.
boy. Never mind. I was gonna say that was a little early, but now you.
Oh!
He burned him with the jungle item. Well done by Washed Up OGs. Only 2,000 damage left to do onto the Baron. 1 for 0, and the Baron. Nice play there. They're able to take it out just after taking down the bot lane. Looking real good for the Washed Up OGs.
Yes, it is. They definitely are not washed up. They are
Nah.
playing like they've been playing together for a long time.
I wanted to actually bring that up. I was watching the server over the last week, and multiple teams jumped in their rooms, were playing games, saying that they wanted to do their games and do some practices and some scrims, and that's what I like to see. Putting in the work here. It is free, but you know what? Take pride in it, right? You want to show up, you want to do it well, and I'm very impressed with our teams. And Washed Up OGs are showing exactly what that type of practice can do. They're coming out real far ahead here in this game against our reigning champions, Team Unknown.
Yeah, and
Ooh, the flash saves Valentine from death, literally. And now the engage on the backside. Nocturne going in. He is kicked away, but in comes Shen. Ashe is going to be in a lot of trouble here. The Monsoon doing a lot of work. Calavir will go down eventually. Big ultimate from Tam. Valentine chasing death. He dodges out. Will he make it? He tried to splash it off the turret. It just wasn't enough in the AoE. And Death is the last member of Team Unknown alive. The Baron push here with a fed, excited Jinx means that this inhibitor and probably at least one more turret are going to go down.
they might be able to finish the game, but probably not. The timers are a little close. They don't want to take a chance at giving up a lot of shutdown gold. I think it's a good idea to go back and just get the dragon, reset, spend your gold, and then you can come back and split in the top and bottom and push those lanes in and try to finish the game off of maybe a pick while you're doing that. Now that Orianna damage was ridiculous. It made Malphite look like he wasn't a tank.
Well, and that's what's hard, right? When you're Malphite, you want to build the armor because it's also a source of damage, but there needs to be a middle ground there because when you look at his items, exactly like you said, it's just straight physical resistance. nothing magic is being resisted at all.
Yeah, this is such a hard game. You really just have to do a Hail Mary play where everyone piles in on like the Jinx or Orianna and just do every bit of damage you can. You may not even have the damage to kill her fast enough. You probably don't at this time, just the item discrepancies and the levels. But you've got to try to do something.
And the engage onto Ashe right as the Janna gets knocked away. Ultimate
Oh
there,
my
not enough. Just huge
Orianna
Orianna
damage.
damage. Double kill. Snowdown picks up the third. He's on a rampage. Death is running for the hills. He's going to summon up the Sun Disc, but I don't know that that's going to do a whole lot. They're just going to run right over that. Top lane Bear is trying to deal with El Kuno, but it's not enough. You have an excited Jinx again on the side of the washed up OGs. At least one turret's going down here.
Yeah, that's probably going to be the end of the game right here.
Valentine jumping in, gets hit with the Sand Soldiers. Legendary Orianna. Tem helps that one. In goes Bear. He gets stunned right as the Unstoppable Force goes down, and that is going to be the end of the game. Washed up OGs take down Team Unknown and do it in style.